Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our introduction to Airport Concessions Opportunities. My name is Angela Costello, and I'm the Senior Marketing Director at Unbail-Rodamco-Westfield, the lead commercial developer and manager for JFK T8 Partners. I'll be serving as the moderator for today's session. Today marks our first of many events to bring you information about the Concessions redevelopment program at T8 and how you can participate. Today's event is focused on business opportunities within concessions. If that does not pertain to your business, we will have many additional business and workforce opportunity sessions, including for construction, subcontractors, services, and more, taking place in the coming weeks and months. To view and register for upcoming events and to sign up to receive news and opportunities at our community portal, visit www.anewjfk.com and navigate over to the Terminal 8 project page. One last bit of housekeeping. This event is being recorded and will be available on our portal following today's session. Following the presentation will be a live Q&A. Before we dive into today's discussion, I'd like to play a brief welcome message from our project partners.
Hello, I'm Rick Cotton, Executive Director of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. And on behalf of the Port Authority, welcome and thank you for joining us. The Port Authority is excited to be working with our private partners at American Airlines, at URW, at Phoenix Infrastructure Group, and at Holt Construction to deliver on the $125 million commercial development of the recently expanded Terminal 8 at JFK. This is an exciting and strategic priority for the Port Authority and for JFK Airport. Across JFK, the Port Authority is committed to ensuring that the benefits of these airport projects accrue to the community. We are committed.
On behalf of American Airlines, we thank you for joining us today. My name is Sylvia Rodriguez, and I'm the Managing Director of JFK for American Airlines. Building on the recently completed $400 million expansion of Terminal 8, the $125 million commercial renovation will further enhance the customer experience. The dining and shopping will be a transformational experience representative of the vibrant New York region. None of this would be possible without the long-withstanding partnership with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, our Terminal 8 Partners team, and the local community to ensure a world-class travel journey for our customers and our One World partners at Terminal 8.
I'm Brad Tollefson. I'm the Senior Vice President of Development at Unbail-Rodamco-Westfield. We are the lead commercial developer for T8 Innovation Partners. We're honored to partner with American Airlines and the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to help transform JFK into a 21st century airport and bring major benefits to New Yorkers and travelers from around the world. Alongside our partners, we're committed to ensuring Terminal 8 celebrates New York's incredible diversity and represents the best of New York with a spotlight on local, small, and minority-owned businesses. Across the development project and beyond, the connection to Queens and our local communities will be at the forefront of everything we do at Terminal 8. From design and construction to a variety of flexible opportunities within our concessions program, we are incredibly excited to support the Port Authority's vision of a JFK that proudly represents our local community while creating new opportunities for local firms to participate. We look forward to working with all of you on this world-class project.
Hi, my name is Jeremy M. Eby, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Phoenix Infrastructure Group. Phoenix is proud to be an equity member of the T8 Innovation Partners to help transform Terminal 8 into an incredible new gateway for New Yorkers and travelers around the globe. We're a part of this project because I truly believe that infrastructure projects should create value for the surrounding community. And that's exactly what we aim to do here at Terminal 8, to help advance minority and local small businesses' growth by connecting the community to opportunities across the development project and through long-term operations. I'm excited to engage with small businesses and entrepreneurs from Jamaica, Queens, as well as from across the city. Together, we will create an incredible new Terminal 8.
Now, I'd like to introduce our panelists for today's event. Welcome to Rochelle Antoine, Manager of External Affairs and Community Outreach from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. From Unbail-Rodamco-Westfield, we have my colleagues Michael Worthman, Vice President of Leasing, and Ashley Harry, Director of Leasing. Next, we have Obi Chiappa, Project Director at RF Wilkins Consultants. Lastly, we're excited to welcome Diana Rose, Program Coordinator for the JFK Airport Institute of Concessions. Now I'd like to turn it over to Rochelle Antoine, Manager of External Affairs and Community Outreach from the Port Authority, who will be providing us with a look at the JFK redevelopment program.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. As Angela mentioned, my name is Rachel Antoine. I serve as the Manager of External Affairs and Community Outreach for the JFK Redevelopment Program in the Port Authority. I saw that the video folks were having some sound issue, but I'm really excited, and the beautiful screen that we're seeing is our Executive Director, Rick Cotton, who was sharing some amazing message in regards of the major redevelopment program happening at JFK Airport. I hope that folks will get the chance to hear that later on. Next slide, please. So for those of you who are joining today's meeting, if you have not heard of the JFK redevelopment program, this is a brief overview of what JFK Airport is currently undergoing. So the current rendering that you are viewing is what JFK currently looks like. It is a combination of old terminals with some vacant land, undersized terminal that the Port Authority is undertaking with its private partners to renovate and provide a world-class airport on JFK. So this rendering that you're seeing is some terminals that are over 56 years old, some of them that are vacant. And what the Port Authority is embarking with its partners is to ensure that we are providing new terminals at the airport and expand the current terminal layout that is there to accommodate the growth, the passenger growth coming up at JFK Airport. Next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier, that the Port Authority is embarking on this project with its private partnership. It is across 4 distinct public-private partnerships. And within the private investment part, we have a $15+ billion investment to build a new terminal and expand our current terminal. I'm happy to report that the Port Authority is also investing a $3.9 billion to support infrastructure around utilities, roadways, so forth and so on. The Port Authority is leveraging public dollars at a 4-to-1 ratio. So in total, we're looking at a $19+ billion redevelopment program happening here in Southeast Queens, which is why we're here today to provide you all a lot of information regarding to this historic project happening. Next slide, please. One of the major part that I'd love to speak about on this redevelopment program is our community engagement and participation on this program. So in the inception of the program, we launched JFKR Community Advisory Council, which consists of 40+ Southeast Queens members. And I'm happy to report that the co-chairs are Congressman Gregory Meeks, as well as President Donovan Richards, who have been working with the Port Authority and our elected officials, community boards, business and academic institution to ensure that we are having a robust participation of the community and share this program at large to the community of Southeast Queens and in Queens in general. So we're really happy to partner with them to bring this project forward. Next slide, please. Under the JFK Community Advisory Council, we do have 4 important committee that drives our work here. And each of the names speaks to the work that they're doing. That is the Business Development Committee, which focuses on providing contracting opportunities and capacity building resources for our local and diverse businesses in Southeast Queens. Under the Workforce and Career Development, again, this is the committee that works to foster a pathway to create aviation careers and making sure that Southeast Queens residents are having access to job opportunities at the airport. The Education Committee, which is one of my favorite ones, focuses on educational enrichment program from kindergarten through college. And last but not least, our Environmental Stewardship Committee, which focuses on ensuring there are sustainable development around the facilities at the airport. So we're really happy to say that if you have any concern or any initiatives or comments, these will be the committees that you would work with under the advisory council to bring forth some new project or making sure that we are connecting with our local residents. Next slide, please. Again, these are some common goals and objectives that the committees work under. Particularly for this meeting, I can speak to the preparing MWBEs and LBEs and ACDBE to compete for contracting opportunity at the airport on this program. So hence the reason why T8 is hosting this concession event, so that you all could be prepared and understanding the opportunities coming up around the ACDBE efforts. Next slide, please. Again, these are some more criteria or characteristics, I should say, when we're working under these committees and when we're actually developing programmings around these committees. We want to make sure that these programs or initiatives have a clear nexus to the redevelopment program, and also make sure that we work with our advisory council to solicit feedback to ensure that if these programs are suitable for advancement under these committee meetings. So for more questions, you guys can connect with us and we'll provide you all more update on the criteria pertaining to these development of these initiatives. Next slide, please. This is our center. This office is a testament of the JFK redevelopment program. So it is stationed in Jamaica Avenue. It serves as a hot point or focal space for community members and businesses to come in and obtain information around the project. So we host different sessions and provide different educational programs to equip the local community on upcoming events, and for them to also connect with our terminal developer partners on how they can get opportunities or connect to the project. Next slide, please. This is one of the most important slides that I would love to speak with. That is our commitment and our work and efforts around local and diverse business participation. So we have 3 focal points when it comes to our MWBE and ACDBE participation goals. So the very first one is a comprehensive concessions and participation plan, where we work with our terminal developers way before they sign their lease to execute a robust outreach plan. And within that plan, they have to show us their strategies to engage their MWBE businesses in the participation goal. They have to also meet the diversity within diversity goal too as well, and maintain proper documentation and show their good effort to ensure that businesses are being a part of it. One critical point here is that we want to make sure within our ACDBE participation goals that the local businesses or the diverse concessions that we are targeting reflect a unique New York sense of place. So hence the reason why our different terminal developers are conducting these type of outreach to make sure that we have that pool of candidates. One of the things that we're really big on this project is reporting, oversight, and transparency. So we work with the Port Authority executive team and the Port Authority leadership team to ensure that we are meeting with our terminal developer to monitor the progress on this project. And also one of the things that's really important is our public reporting of MWBE and LBE participation, which is posted on our website, where you can see the diverse firms and the different contracts and awards that have been awarded throughout the duration of this project. So for more information, you can visit www.anewjfk to see more of that. Last but not least is our technical assistance and capacity building program, which focuses on different initiatives and programs to help support and help grow our local businesses. One of them is our Project Readiness Bootcamp that we hosted, where we allowed firms to come in and have this robust intensive class and really connect them with projects at Building 111. And I'm happy to say that there were some success story of firms who attended the bootcamp who bidded successfully in building the Building 111. We also provide pre-qualification assistance. We host our monthly MWBE ACDBE certification if a firm is interested in getting their certification through the Port Authority. And we also host our Access to Capital webinar, and which one of the last thing that you're going to hear from Diana Rose is our of a concession, which falls under one of our community development program to ensure that we are providing local firms and equip them to be able to have their concessions at the airport, so forth and so on. You're going to get to hear more from Diana Rose, but we're really happy to say that the Port Authority has successfully launched this program. We had a press release that went out last week. Congratulations, Diana, the program director. So this is one of our community betterment initiatives that we're really happy and proud to support local businesses to be trained and gain a lot of insight of concessions at the airport. Next slide. Again, we take pride in, joining efforts with our local businesses, hence the reason why we work with our tier 1 zip codes, which is over 37 zip codes around the Southeast Queens community. We give priorities to those firms and businesses that are located near the airport to ensure that they have a robust participation on the project. Yes, of course, we work with the larger district of Queens, but there is a priority focus to ensure that we are targeting local zip codes that have a clear nexus and a strong adjacent to the airport. So for more information, I'm here. I know that I took more than my time here, but I think these are important information to ensure that folks are aware of this major redevelopment program happening at the airport. Thank you all.
Thanks, Rachel. Now I'd like to introduce Michael Worthman, Vice President of Airport Leasing at URW.
Thanks, Angela. First and foremost, born and raised in Queens, so this is an exciting project for me. This was my backyard airport growing up. Family's still out there, so super excited to be a part of this. As Angela said, I'm Michael Worthman. I head up the leasing for URW, and we're the concessions development manager at T8. We're redeveloping everything past security into the gate areas. Here's a brief glimpse of some of the renderings that you'll see as we continue to develop. Go to the next slide. So this word concessions, you've heard it a couple of times, and I just mentioned it, that's what we manage as part of the development project. These are a little bit of a briefing into what concessions actually means. So you have these different categories and components that enter the airport concessions program. There's duty free, travel essentials, food and beverage, retail, and service. So that's what that means when we refer to the word concessions. Next. All right, so here are a couple of business models in different ways and different players that come into the concessions program. When you walk through an airport and you see a store, you see the brand. That doesn't necessarily mean that the brand is operating that particular location as you would in any mall or street side location. There are different opportunities, which we'll get into later, to enter into the concessions program. But when you see these four main categories, you see the operator prime, which is typically the company that stocks, staffs, and really runs the store behind the brand. A JV partnership, which is just an equity business partnership where you could partner with a prime or a brand itself. The brand, which we all know is the brand you see, whether it be a retail brand or food and beverage. And then when you have the last category, you see direct. That's when the brand itself is actually the operator within the four walls. Go to the next one. So what separates sort of the airport business on operating a store versus operating within a street, you could see some of the items up here. Some of the things you need to think about are the hours of operation, the requirements to stay open longer, to get open before and at the end. This is to catch all the flight patterns and schedules of each airline, and to really offer the passenger the correct offering during the times of operation. Badging and security. Everybody needs to be badged properly and get through the terminal and to operate within the terminal. I can go through more, but you can read more about this within the website that we discussed earlier, and we'll share later in the presentation.
Thanks, Michael. Now I'd like to introduce Obi Chiappa, Project Manager with RF Wilkins Consultants.
Thanks, Angela. Good evening, everyone. And I am so excited to be here today to just overemphasize our commitment to the community as it pertains to participation, being involved, and just making sure that we all win and grow together at this incredible opportunity. As Angela said, my name is Obi Chiapa, and I am the project director from RF Wilkins Consultants. And we are a hyper-local Queens-based firm overseeing the compliance for this program as it pertains to diversity and minority engagement and the overall outreach. So emphasizing our commitment to diversity as it pertains to the goals for this program, there is a 50% ACDBE goal across the overall project. And in addition to that, there's a 30% goal as it pertains to MWBE participation on the construction side. And on the commercial side, there's a 30% ACDBE goal, which is measured by the annual commercial program receipts. Now, in addition to that, just to emphasize local participation and how much of a priority it is for local businesses to be to not just take part, but just win and be a part of this program. There are 6 spaces that are going to be designated specifically to local business enterprises for the Small Business Accelerator Program. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So in terms of just the certifications involved and what the eligibility for criteria is, Rachel already went through the different, she emphasized the importance on the Port Authority's end to make sure that there is minority participation. But in addition to that, our team is there to make sure that you as an entity who is interested have the resources and you know what is required to be considered either as a ACDBE or an MWBE for participation. And with that, these are just a high-level list of criteria that is required to be considered. And I'm going to breeze through this because I know we're being mindful of time. So for consideration for ACDBE eligibility, a firm must operate as a for-profit and not a nonprofit. It must be defined as a small business by the SBA, which is the Small Business Authority. And the firm must be at least 50% owned by one or more individuals who are socially and economically disadvantaged individuals with a personal net worth of at least $1.32 million. In addition to that, the management and daily operations must be controlled by one or more socially and economically disadvantaged individuals who own it. And the owners must be a citizen of the United States or lawfully admitted permanent residents. On the MWBE side, a firm must be, in order to be eligible for consideration, you must meet the following criteria of, again, being, you must operate as a for-profit and not a nonprofit. At least 51% of the firm must be owned, or decisions must be made by a minority group. And the business would have to be, the entity would have to be in business for at least 1 year. And the owners must be a United States citizen or a lawfully admitted permanent resident of the United States. So that said, again, I would like to emphasize that we are committed to making sure that we all win in this program, and our team is here to make sure that if you have any questions or need any guidance, that you can reach out to us and we'll be able to help you navigate these waters so that you will be considered for participation. Thanks, Angela.
Thanks, Obi. And I do want to remind everyone, I know we're throwing a lot of information at you today. All of this material will be available following the event. It'll be available on our website. So don't worry, you will have the ability to re-review if needed. Now I'd like to introduce Ashley Harry, Director of Leasing at URW.
Thanks, Angela. I'm so happy to be here today, guys. I've worked on JFK T8 for almost 6 years now. So I feel like I've been around for the before. I'm excited to be here for the now, and I'm really excited to be here for the future. You've heard kind of everybody talk about the terms that we use in airports and the certification acronyms and how to apply and kind of what this all means. And as an additional layer to that, another thing that we really take a strong look at as URW is the customer, right? And so the customer within these four walls, different than on the street, is that we aren't able to draw people to our businesses within the airports. We are working with, the employee base that we're there and the passengers that the airline helps us curate a very specific offer that is intentional and translates to sales, because as you all know, we want everybody to be mutually successful. We don't want to set anybody up for failure in this program. Some of the high level things we look at are the household income. What is the buying power that exists within this terminal? How long are people in the terminal? We call that dwell time. So 193 minutes is quite a bit of time. And you'll see that because 61% of the year-to-date traffic in 23 is international, that means people are arriving earlier. They're waiting to get through customs quite a bit longer. So they're in the terminal for quite a bit longer than historically. Terminal 8, as you know, has always been the American Airlines terminal. They've had a great slew of partners over the years. Recently in December, British Airways, China Southern, Level, Iberia all came on board. Japan Airlines followed shortly after, and we have about 7 or 8 other airlines in there as well that are all kind of helping to kind of make Terminal 8 really what it is. Next slide, Angela. And okay, so you've heard from Rachel and kind of what the prerogative is from the redevelopment group around JFK. And so when I'm talking, I'm specifically talking about Terminal 8 and really like the different entry levels at all levels, right? And so we are going to kind of define easy, lower risk to highest risk opportunities throughout the space. So one of the lower areas of opportunities would be the product placement. So if you're a local maker and you have, canned beverages or candles or soaps, we feel like this is a really great product for a shop within a shop. So we would kind of want to match make you with an operator that Michael talked about before that would be able to have a certain set of your merchandise within their storefront. It's very low overhead from the maker, right, from the businesses. I don't know if you guys have been tracking, but one of the big partners to Airports, Hudson and Host, had an outreach event very recently where they were specifically looking for makers and products for the airport space. And so that will probably continue to go on. That is one company that would kind of fit the bill for this. Hudson is the Travel Essentials. They're one of the bigger players, if you're not familiar. And so you'll see there's lots of options. Automated retail, which is, when you're walking through the airport, you see those machines that are vending machines. They've kind of come a long way since the old school kind of 25-cent soda machine. They're very big and fancy, and they can sell product, right? Soft goods, candy, pretzels, you name it, salads. I've seen it all. We kind of touched on our LB Accelerator program. We'll have two types of physical spaces between kiosks and inlines. We will host a separate outreach down the line for everybody to kind of get more information on that. That is retail specific, so that does not apply to food and beverage or anything that would need sinks, refrigeration, etc. And then you'll see over here on the right side that the two darker red are really the JV-ACDB partnership that Michael mentioned and the direct operator. So, that is kind of the bells to whistles. You would be responsible for the architect, the build out, the staffing, the merchandising, all those things that kind of go into running a business, except in the airport space. So, I think more to come, more details to come down the road that we can kind of talk through all of these different types of opportunities. But we wanted to share kind of what's coming down the pipeline, I'd say, over the next 12 to 24 months, so people can start thinking about what makes sense for them and kind of planning for that as well. Thanks, Angela.
Great. Thanks, Ashley. Now I'd like to introduce Diana Rose, the program coordinator for the newly launched JFK Airport Institute of Concessions. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you for having me on this call. It's really exciting. Just continuously hearing about the opportunities and seeing it up close and personal. It really is an exciting and historic opportunity. So thank you for the time to share information about the Institute of Concessions that a lot of people have probably heard about. Next slide. So the Institute of Concession is a training program for local businesses. And the idea is to be able to prepare you with all the competencies that one would need, someone or a business that has never worked airside. So we want to ensure that we're providing you with the information, again, the competencies to really thrive in this environment. Operating on street side is very different than operating on air side. So we want to ensure through the Institute of Concessions, we are giving everyone the tools for success. And the JFK Institute of Concession is approximately 13-week in-person training program. And again, the idea is we're providing you with in-depth knowledge, understanding, practice, and real-time application through different RFP processes to learn, practice, and participate in a live demonstration and just seeing up close and personal how concessions work, almost like a day in a life. So that's pairing you with terminal developers and operators and master concessionaires to give you exposure to the day-to-day operation. So we are working with a 3-prong approach. Learn, and you're going to learn through the 14 different modules that will be presented by subject matter experts every Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 5 p.m. on Airport. And it's really important just to be on the airport as you're learning about these processes. We're going to provide a practice. So the cohort is going to be divided into 2 teams. And during that time, you will be expected to complete a capstone presentation that responds to a food and beverage and retail concession solicitation. And again, the live practice, the graduates of the program, so those who successfully cycle through will be able to be paired with mentors and terminal developers and master concessionaires. Next slide. What can you expect from the IOC? Again, an in-depth learning experience with subject matter experts, hands-on business mentoring, because we know you're going to have a lot of questions. So we want to be there to provide you with that hands-on approach. RFP bid review, because at the end of this process, whether you utilize the Institute of Concessions, because we are a gateway, we are not the only way, but a gateway to access these amazing opportunities that are coming down the pike. We want to provide you with the RFP bid review, so you know what to expect when those RFPs go live. Health and wellness coaching, a portion of the program that we are particularly very excited to announce because we care about you as a business owner. Yes, we want you to thrive financially. Yes, we want you to thrive on airside, but we also want you to thrive spiritually, physically, mentally. So we're providing health and wellness coaching, and as well as on airport experience. And something that is really key is the legacy building opportunity. You have the opportunity through these concessions to curate local economic wealth, an opportunity to establish generational businesses that's passing your business down to your children or your children's children or your family. And also something that's really important is building local community, because we know that if we build local community, then we can build, if we can build local business, we can build local community. So that's really important. So don't lose that. Next slide. What is our timeline, you may be asking, because I know you're asking. So we did successfully launch our application on July 25th, yay us. And the applications close August 25th. So in 25 days, the application will be closing at 11:59 p.m. So make sure you get your applications in. It takes about 20 minutes to complete the application in one sitting. And we will provide acceptance notifications the week of August 28th through September 1st. Our program kickoff event, our big hoorah, we've made it here, happens on September 5th. And on September 12th will be the first day of training with a course graduation date of November 30th. Next slide. Who should apply? you should apply. If you are on this call and you are here because you've heard about this opportunity, or you're here to pass on the information to a family member, to a business cohort, you should apply, and you should tell them to apply. But truly, it's any small, local, and diverse business that has been in operation for at least 3 years, because we want to ensure that we can establish some type of experience to provide you with the best chances of thriving on airside. High volume capacity, average of 1,500 transactions per month. I know that sounds like a lot, but when you do the math, if you want to divide 1,500 by 4 weeks, by 7 days, by how many hours you're in operations, that's the average number of transactions we would like to see. High grossing food and beverage or retail experience. Again, just to ensure your success, we want to know that you can handle the rush of the passengers. We want to ensure that you can handle the environment that you're going into. ACDBE certified or certifiable. While it is not a requirement to apply for the Institute of Concessions, we do encourage ACDBE certification or certifiableness. And last but not least, strong preference for minority or women-owned businesses. Next slide. So if you have any additional questions, because we know this is a lot of information, we would like for you to reach out to us at info.concessions@panyj.gov, or you can visit our landing page, our website at panyj.gov/institute-of-concessions, or if you have your phone, you can scan our QR code and it will take you right to our website. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing all these applications come in. And also, we are having our first outreach this Thursday at 6:30 at the JFK Community Outreach Information Center. So for more information, just follow our page and you can find us there in person. Thank you.
Thanks, Diana. It's an amazing program, and we are very excited to have you as a partner. Now we'll turn it back over to Obi to touch on the resources that are available to you all. Obi, over to you.
Thanks again, Angela. So just a quick note on additional resources that are available, because we know we provided a lot of information. If you have any questions or need information as it pertains specifically to ACDBE certification, we ask you to go to the supply diversity site on the Port Authority webpage, which is www.pnynjsd.com. And when you go to that website, you would follow the link to the apply for certification, and that would have all of the details as it pertains to what is necessary for qualifications. It documents the process, and that will give you at least an idea of everything that it entails for you to be ACDBE certified. In addition to that, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the certification analyst, Ms. Gloria Wimple, and her email address is on the screen, and she's available for any assistance as it pertains to either the ACDBE certification or even the MWBE certification. And she's also available every Thursday at the Redevelopment Center, which Rachel had mentioned during her bit earlier in the presentation. And lastly, for all additional Terminal 8 commercial redevelopment program, if you have any questions as it pertains to anything about the program. So if you want to know more about outreach, any opportunities coming down the pipe, we actually would advise you to email us at info.t8@rfwconsultants.com. And once you do, myself or somebody from our team will reach out to you. We will assess what the need is, and we'll be able to direct your inquiry accordingly to make sure that you are assisted, you have the resources available so that you can participate and we could all win together. That's it for me. Thanks, Angela.
Thanks, Obi. Before we jump into the Q&A, let's take a look at our upcoming concessions events. In September, we will be hosting a session on Airport Concessions 101. This event is specifically designed to help educate new to airport businesses. So if you are not in the airport today, this is a great event for you. In October, we're hosting a session on airport business planning basics. So this is for folks who are interested in learning more about ACDBE certification, the RFP or bidding processes, and more. And then looking ahead to November, we will be providing more information about our LBE Accelerator program for all of you. Two important notes, businesses who are interested in other opportunities, architecture, engineering, construction, services. I saw a question come through a chat for photography, anything like that. Make sure you visit our website. You can go to it www.anewjfk.com and head over to the Terminal 8 page, and you can view upcoming outreach and events. The other thing you can do is fill out a business intake form. So head over to businesses, fill out that form so you're on our list. So when we're going to procure, services, we've got your information and we can reach out. And yeah, make sure you're signed up for news. And with that, let's head to our Q&A. To submit a question for one of our panelists, simply type your question into the Q&A box. I think we've already had a couple come through. Let's see. Here's a question for Rachel. Rachel, what can you tell us about concessions opportunities that will be available at the other JFK terminals as part of this redevelopment?
I'm excited when I get questions in regards to the project at large. So as many of you know that on those 4 private partnerships that I mentioned, there is Terminal 4, which is Delta JFK IAT. We also have JMP Millennium Partner T6, as well as Terminal 1. I'm happy to report that all 3 of them have concessions opportunities coming up. I know that T6 is also has been conducting a lot of concession outreach events, and there's more coming down the pipeline. I know that T1 also will be having their concessions outreach too in the upcoming weeks or months, I would say. So please stay on the lookout. I know that T4, JFK IAT Delta, they have a lot of different concessions concepts around a street market concept, other opportunities related to concessions. But I think everyone has been echoing this. For you to get more information in regards to upcoming opportunities, the best way that I can orient you is to visit anewjfk.com, www.anewjfk.com. All of our terminal partners, developers are there. Once you go to the category where it says projects, you will find a list of all of our terminal developers with their contact information, where you can actually fill out a form and also see their office hours. If that is a hiccup, I am also available. I will drop my email on the chat here too as well for you to reach out to us. The center, again, is the space for you to come in and meet with our partners, with the outreach team. If in fact that you're not getting in touch with the terminal developers, I'm here to help you. My co-manager, Akshar Patel, is here, who is handling outreach on the program. We have a team at the center that's there. So our office is open Tuesday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is 144-33 Jamaica Avenue. And I will drop my email on the chat here too as well.
Thanks, Rachel. This next question or set of questions is for Diana. Diana, is the training that begins September 12th, is that in person or virtual training? And there's another question, can folks apply for the Institute if they do not meet the transaction criteria currently?
So to answer the first question, yes, we are live and in person. We want to see those beautiful faces in person. So yeah, we are an in-person program beginning September 12th. In regard to the basic requirements, that is a question that you can email me specifically. So they're saying if that's the only requirement they do not meet, but they meet all the others. So I'll drop my email in the chat just to give you the best and the most accurate information. I don't want to misspeak on this live program. So I will drop my email in the chat and then I'll answer that way.
Great, thanks, Diana. This next question is for Ashley. Ashley, this individual is curious about how they can get information on getting their products into an existing store concessionaire.
Thanks, Angela. So really good question, right? And I think that, we are looking at this project over the next 12 to 24 months, and I think opportunities will start to become available, I'd say, starting over the next 6 months, probably over the next 12 to 18 months, depending. But we will be putting out more information around specifics, ways for us to kind of help bridge the gap and match make. And I would also keep an eye on the redevelopment channels on LinkedIn and social for some of the partners who have these physical spaces, who have the travel retail and the specialty retail stores, who you could potentially attend those events and find out ways to partner directly with them as well. So it's kind of two parallel paths.
That's great. Thanks, Ashley. To piggyback on that question, can you provide any details on timing of when concession spaces would be released for bidding?
Sure. So back to my original statement, this is a 4-phased kind of redevelopment at Terminal 8. We will be redeveloping, sorry, couldn't think of the word, redeveloping all of the spaces currently in the terminal. So I would keep an eye on our outreach events. The LB Accelerator event will be interesting for a lot of people on this call. I would say as opportunities become available, we will be putting them to market through our social channels and through the port and our support network with the redevelopment committee, Obi's team and Diana's team. And so I would say starting somewhere in the next 6 to 12 months, people can expect to start to see things kind of come down on a rolling basis.
Great. Diana, here's a question for you. Are local companies forming a joint venture, 2 New York City-based companies, able to apply for the Institute?
So I was just answering that in the chat. Yes, you can, absolutely.
Okay, great. And for the cohort, let's see, how many students are included in each cohort, and can you recap on the timeline for the concessions training?
Sure. So at this time for the inaugural cohort, we are accepting 10 businesses. And regarding the hours, we're launching the program September 12th, and that will run every Tuesday and Thursday in person from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. until November 30th.
Okay,
So,
great.
So I can put that, I'm gonna try to answer some of these questions as I see them as well in the Q&A section.
Okay, great. The next question is from Raphael. Thanks, Raphael. Do you have post-construction cleaning opportunities? There's been a couple of questions come in about services, opportunities, and the answer is absolutely yes. Make sure you go to our website. So go to anewjfk.com, navigate over to Terminal 8, and make sure that you're signed up as a business and tell us about your business and what you're interested in. There's a lot of questions on there that can help us identify you so that we can get in touch with these businesses when we're looking for those smaller and those, contracts outside of concessions as we go on. Let's see here. Oh, okay, let's see. This question is for Rachel. Rachel, where can we find more information on doing business with the international airlines or terminals?
Again, I will not stop sharing our website. I know T8 is one of, you guys were one of our international terminal 2 as well, new terminal 1 too. So I would definitely say connect with myself, Rachel. My email is, I dropped it on the chat earlier, but definitely anewjfk.com, or you can send an email to jfkredevelopment@panyj.gov. One other thing that I really want to emphasize on about the particular location at Jamaica Avenue is that our terminal developers, they have community hours at the center. So once you connect with us, we're able to do that email introduction where you can have a one-on-one time with them, and they're there from Tuesday through Thursday throughout the day. And this is where you will get to meet with them to hear any opportunities related to construction, cleaning services, program management, so forth and so on. They're there to tell you the upcoming packages that are available within their respective program.
Great, thanks, Rachel.
forget too, we do have our consultant firms there too as well. RF Wilkins, they do have their office. They are one of our consultant team on the project, doing outreach for us. So they are there, I believe every Thursday conducting office hours. And we also have Crescent Consultant on the construction aspect to provide one-on-one outreach with them too as well. So we have a team, a robust team, outreach team providing support and connecting the firms to opportunities.
That's great. This next question is for Ashley. Ashley, this question reads, my brand offers travel size hair care and beauty products for women of color in vending machines, but they operate out of state. Will there be consideration given for outside of New York State entities or only businesses in the tiered zip codes?
So look, great question, right? I'm sure a lot of people are wondering that themselves. What I would say to do is take the appropriate steps, get into our network, into our database, tell us about yourself, right? You've heard the group kind of say that we're prioritizing certain areas, the community that kind of exists around the airport and honestly has to deal with it on the day-to-day basis. And if anybody's been there, the traffic in and of itself is a reason to want to cry sometimes, but get into our database, follow kind of the QR code I'm sure we maybe can put up at the end. Tell us about yourself, and then, you know, wherever an opportunity exists, we want to kind of make the connection, right? That's why we're here. So we look forward to kind of meeting you and learning about your business.
So I know a number of questions came in through the chat about this, whether you're located in New Jersey or Illinois or right here in Queens. We are excited to meet you and engage with you. So please get in touch via our website. Let's see. This next question is for Quentin of RFW Consultants. Hi, Quentin. We are a DBE MBE construction firm. Are we eligible for benefits from this program?
Sure, thank you, Angela. Yeah, I was trying to answer quickly, but I'm happy to answer online. Yes, there are opportunities for participation for MWBE or ACDBE certified construction firms. The preferred construction partner is Holt Construction, and they are managing the capital construction portion of the redevelopment, as well as the construction build out for the concession spaces. So again, the best way is to look out for those outreach events that are upcoming that will continue to inform that discussion about construction opportunities, and to, of course, to always register on the T8 page at anewjfk.com.
That's great. And we are hosting events as soon as later this week on the construction side. So please go to the website, make sure you're signed up and you're browsing events, and there's probably something for you on there. Ashley, this question is for you. It's around the LBE program. Do you have any more information around the designated spaces and the types of concepts or categories that you would be looking for those concepts?
Thanks, Angela. So this is a very exciting subject that I can't wait, honestly, to share more information with everybody on. What I can tell you right now is that this is going to be very retail focused. So as I mentioned before, there will not be sinks in the space. There will not be refrigeration. So anything that falls into the retail category, I would love to kind of hear from you and have you give your pitch on why your business kind of makes sense for us to consider, whether it's baby, home, beauty, you know, anything I think that falls into retail, we would want to kind of consider. So make sure you are registered under the business interest form on our community portal that we've been talking about. That's where we will push out all the information so that everybody is kind of aligned on what next steps look like with that.
Great. Thank you, Ashley. Diana, I think this one is for you. Is there a cost for registration for the Institute of Concessions?
No, it is free.com. It
amazing.
Is no cost. We just want your commitment.
That's amazing. Okay, think this is the last one we have time for. This one goes to Ashley. Do you have any expected dates of release for concessions within the F&B category, or when can we expect more news there?
So the F&B category for local opportunities is part of a bigger RFP operator package that we'll be putting together with our partners from the port for the food hall. So I would say from a timeline perspective, you could be expecting that within the next, maybe call it 9 months, 6 to 9 months, once we have more of a clear vision on what that's going to look like, the opportunities that will be available, and trying to maximize really the opportunities that are available. So we want to kind of take our time with that so that we are kind of pushing the envelope and really maximizing the potential for partnership in that area.
That's great.
And this is a
thank you.
marathon, not a sprint, right? So we're in this for the long haul, everybody.
Well, as Ashley said, this is really just the beginning. We're really excited to be here with you today, and there's so much more exciting things to come over the next 24 months and beyond. So I want to thank all of our panelists today, especially to Rachel from the Port Authority and Diana from the Institute of Concessions. It's amazing to have you here with us. And a huge thank you to all of you who attended today. We hope that you've learned from and enjoyed this session. Remember, your last reminder of the day, hopefully, to visit www.anewjfk.com, navigate over to the Terminal 8 project page to make sure that you're signed up to receive news and opportunities. Like I said, this session will also be available for viewing if you'd like to return or refer back to any of the material. Also, the contact information for everyone will be provided as well. Thank you again for joining us tonight, and have a wonderful evening.